cherry Jello, blueberry Jello, grape Jello, pecans, cherries, 1 evaporated milk, 1 condensed milk, and vanilla yogurt. This is everything we need, and of course hot water for those Jellos. So let's get started and let's make this delicious Jello salad. I have my 3 Jellos here, and I'm going to start by adding the very hot water. We are going to use 3 cups of very hot water for every single Jello. I'm going to start with the grape. The very important step is when you add your Jello, make sure that you whisk it for at least 2 to 3 minutes so it's nice and dissolved and it doesn't get any clumps on the bottom or on the top. Just make sure that you really mix every single one just like that. This is now completely done. I'm going to go ahead, put it aside, and I am going to continue with the next Jello. I'm going to go ahead and add, like I said, 3 cups of very hot boiling water. And to this, I'm going to add the strawberry Jello. You want to add just 3 cups of hot water so their Jello is nice and firm and it's not too jiggly or it's not too hard. 3 cups is just perfect. The Jello will come out nice and firm. Okay, this one is done. Just make sure that you whisk it for about 2 to 3 minutes, making sure that all the grenadine completely dissolves. And this is the last one. I'm going to go ahead and add all the Jello in here, and I'm going to do the same step. Mix it in, whisk it completely for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, now that the Jellos are completely done, let me show you every single one. They're really nice and hot. I'm going to let them rest for just a couple minutes until they are at almost at room temperature. Look at this. Remember, you only need 3 cups of hot boiling water. I'm going to go ahead, put it aside, and I have these little plastic containers where I'm going to add my Jellos. But before I do that, I'm going to add just a little drop of vegetable oil, and I'm going to help myself with a paper napkin, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix that little bit of oil all around so that Jello doesn't stick to the bottom or to the sides of these containers. I'm going to do the same thing with each one. Now that I have already put them through a little bit of oil, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the Jello. They're going to go into the refrigerator for about 4 hours until they are completely firm. This is where the time when you're going to say this really takes a long time. Let's put them in the refrigerator. I have my pecans here, and I have a baking dish. My oven has been preheated to 350, and they're only going to go in there for about 6 minutes. No more than that. You don't want them to get burned. Once you start smelling the pecans, that means that it's time to get them out, or else they could easily get burned. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, put them aside, and let them cool down. And now here in this bowl, I'm going to start adding my vanilla yogurt, and I'm going to add the whole container. I'm going to go ahead, add the vanilla yogurt. Remember the brand, whichever brand you have at home. I have a condensed milk, and that I'm going to add the whole container and 1 container of evaporated milk. And I'm going to go ahead and just whisk it in, making sure that there's no lumps. I'm going to mix it in very well until it's really nice and creamy. Look at this. I'm going to taste it. To my tasting, this is perfect. You don't want it too sugary. So if you want a little more sugar on it, go ahead, add a little more of sugar or condensed milk. But to my tasting, this is great. Look at the texture. There is no lumps, and it's really nice and smooth. It's right now nice and white, but when we add our cherries with a little bit of liquid, it's gonna turn a little pink. Look at this. Okay, well, this is completely done, nice and smooth. There is no lumps on it. I'm going to put it aside and let's see how the Jellos are. 4 hours have passed and they have firmed completely. And now I'm going to start slicing it with the knife until I get really small or medium squares. I'm going to do the same procedure on each one, making sure that I make those little squares of Jello so I could add it into my mixture. All that creamy, delicious yogurt, the condensed milk, the evaporated milk. Look at this. I'm pulling the Jello apart. And look at the pieces. Remember, you could cut them as big or as small as you would like. And here I'm going to continue with the next Jello. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull it apart, making the little squares. Look at the purple Jello. Look at this. Okay, let me continue with the next one. I'm going to go ahead and just pull them apart, making sure that all the Jellos, the pieces of Jellos, are almost the same size. Look. Okay, once this is done, now I am ready to start adding it to all the creamy and delicious mixture. I'm going to bring my bowl here, and I'm going to start adding the strawberry Jello pieces, and now the blueberry, and the rest. Look at this. Look how beautiful this looks. Once I have incorporated all the little squares of the Jello, I'm going to go ahead and just mix everything, coating all the pieces of the Jello with the delicious texture of all the yogurt, the cream, the milk. And now I am ready to add the cherries right on the top, and I'm going to mix it in, making sure that everything is nice and covered. Now this is completely done, but I want to show you how this looks. I'm going to add myself some here in this little plate, and now I am ready to top it off with my pecans. Look at this. Look how delicious this looks. Once you have it like that, just add your pecans right on the top. And now I am ready for the presentation, and to tell you the truth, I can't wait to taste this delicious cocktail. See you in a bit. Friends, I am completely done with this delicious Jell-O cocktail. Perfect for Christmas, perfect for the holidays, or even perfect when the family's coming over and you want to treat them with something delicious, sweet, and made at home. This is a delicious Jell-O cocktail. Well, you know something, of course, this is mine, and let me taste it because I really can't wait to taste it. Excuse me. Nice and creamy, delicious, but yet not sugary. A perfect dessert. I wish you were here to taste it with me. If you liked and loved my recipe, I invite you to subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, share my video on social media so more people get to know Cooking with Gloria. Don't forget to push the notification bell, and if you did, leave it activated so every time I make a delicious recipe like I did today, you are going to be notified. I want to say thank you so much for pressing and watching this video from start to end. I really do appreciate it. Before I say I see you soon, I wish you nothing but the best. peace, and love. And of course, I will stay enjoying this delicious, creamy Jell-O cocktail. See you on my next delicious recipe. Bye-bye.